Arrested a teenager in connection to a deadly shooting in Glasgow Village. This happened on Glengarry Road just before 5 last Wednesday. St. Louis County Police say they found a man dead in a home. A 15-year-old suspect is now facing second-degree murder charges in family court.
On December 14th.
So why would a 15-year-old boy hurt his own father? Something's just not right there. Something had to go wrong for that to happen. In the video, it shows that his son, his 15-year-old son, seemed a little agitated at a birthday party Johnathan Brown threw for his son's 15th birthday. You can see how frustrated, how annoyed, how deep in thought the 15-year-old was.
Let me see my daddy. Let me see. Hey, tell him about my daddy. Okay. Go on in for daddy. Now leave your glasses on. I can't see you. Shut up.
Johnathan Brown decided to throw a birthday party on December 15, 2025 for his son, who turned 15 on 12/9/2025, his son Legend. So he got the family together and they decided to throw a party for Legend. Well, it was evident in the video that Legend was not very happy about the birthday party, but it was not the birthday party he was unhappy with. Something had to happen, because you could see his expression throughout this whole entire birthday party video. He seemed distant, isolated. He did not want to communicate with family members. The money that was thrown at him, he basically just ignored it. He, he smiled, but you can see how he tosses it away like, this is not what I'm looking for. And through the video, one of his family members stated that Legend seemed like he was mad, and the father responded, "No, he's just shy. But in reality, that right there should have been a clue. The father had been incarcerated for 5 years. Father Johnathan Brown was incarcerated for 5 years. Now, he'd already been out of prison for almost an entire year, so he was very familiar with his son. But I feel that he ignored the fact that there was something wrong with his son, Legend, a.k.a. he called him Fat Daddy. So, you could see how he looked like he was feeling. This right here was an indication. There should have been, the birthday party should have been stopped. Even if it wasn't stopped, somebody should have taken him and found out what was wrong. I could see if he had just came in and they birthday party, and it kind of startled him and, he acted like that for a little while, but it wasn't that case. He was the same way throughout the entire video. Even when this part where his dad wanted him to go into a studio and, make some beats meaning rap music, free flow, whatever you want to do. And he walks in and he just seemed this slow, frustrated walk. And, even looking at his dad with disappointment in his eyes, like, you don't know me. Why are you doing this? I'm not going to this is not what I feel like doing. And he walks back out. He is not feeling the scene. And, even lots of people gave him hugs. Well, at least seeing at least 2 or 3 people try to give him hugs. And, he did hug them, but it's not that kind of happy, joyful hug. Not even a little bit, not even the slightest enjoyment. You could tell his energy, how he just moves slow. He's not making eye contact with anyone. And when he does, it's just a brief, encounter. The dad seems very happy about the party more than the son. And, there's a part in here where the dad tried to show off his son's clothing by, moving the top shirt over to see the logo of the name brand, or what he was wearing, what the son Legend was wearing, and he nudged his dad's and Legend nudged Jonathan's hand away from him, like, stop, this is not me. So when I'm looking at this video, and I mean when I seriously looked intensely at this video, I see that possibly he had already had enough, and he had already planned to do the crime that was committed against the father. So I feel like Legend already had it in his mind what he was going to do. And maybe this could have been nervousness because he was feeling this way, or maybe this is really his personality. I looked at some photos, and his other photos do seem like he is a little bit shy in those photos. Like, he's not like a very vibrant, heads up kind of child. But I'm wondering, was this an indication that he had already plotted and planned that he was going to do this, and he didn't want to feel any other way because he knew what he was going to do? And he didn't want to feel any other way. So, I mean, I observed this, quite a bit over and over looking at this video. Like, how did they miss this? It was so obvious. It was so clear that this young 15-year-old, this young man, 15-year-old, was really not feeling life. And I would have thought he unalived himself. So I'm very thankful to God that did not happen either. But why was the father's weapon not locked up or put away where a 15-year-old would find that? I mean, I understand even it should have been locked up because he had a younger son. What if his younger son came over there and saw the weapon? But above all, it really is a tragic story because the father and the son did not have the relationship they both most likely thought it would be after Johnathan Brown was released from prison and was able to be a father in his son's life, including Legend. I could say one of the major things that could have contributed to this was letting the son go over to the father's house to live out of helping him to get back corrected. That was a form of discipline which showed the son that now he is there for discipline purposes only, or the authoritativeness should have been played out differently. One post stated, "He looks very sad and unhappy as if he doesn't want to be there. And I feel like he's being forced to be someone he is not. His body language tells it all. He's not into being flashy like his dad, and the attention is being seen by his dad. No matter, this matter is into the hands of the Almighty God." You can see in the video with his youngest son that Johnathan was a good father and he loved his children and loved enjoying life with them. But was it something that he actually knew how to be a father instead of just a friend to his children, showing his love for them with material things? And, just they needed more than that. Maybe they needed someone to talk to and to understand them, a father-son kind of talk. He was probably going through a lot of puberty and other things that children go through when they are in that those teenage years. And he really needed a father, not a friend. He had friends at school. John Brown did post, "You all wish my son a happy birthday. Happy birthday, son. You big 15. Daddy loves you. Man, you need to grow up and stop being shy. Love you. Don't do that crazy talking like I don't do nothing for you, boy. I do the world for you all." His ex-jail friend, Steve Jones, stated, "Brody came home and stayed focused this time, and all he talked about was trying to build a relationship with his sons." And then the rest is basically stating that how Johnathan Brown got out of jail and is doing good. In March of 2019, St. Louis police officers attempted to initiate a traffic stop After observing a vehicle run through a stop sign, the vehicle led the officers on a high-speed chase through St. Louis, but eventually stopped in a residential neighborhood. Brown and another man exited the vehicle and fled on foot. The officers found Brown hiding in a nearby residence. Witness Brown drop an object into a trash can while he was running away. The officers searched the trash can and retrieved a firearm. Before this incident in 2013, Brown obtained a felony conviction in Missouri for resisting arrest. See Missouri, Reverend State 5. Okay, so you can go online and find out all that information also. So a little bit about Johnathan Brown. Johnathan Brown had just got released from prison. He was incarcerated for 5 years due to fleeing from police and other criminal activity. At the time of him going to jail, his son was 9 years old, was very committed to his children. So when he gets out, he, works as a barber, got himself together, car, home, not hanging in the street, not doing criminal activities anymore. At least up front that we could see he was not.